What's funny is she's like, midnight snack. It's like she's literally egging Tamlin on as well, because she's like, I was going for midnight snack, but I'm going to make it like midnight snack. And he's like,
Yeah,
grrr. The cookie dropped out of my hand as he grasped my wrists. I smelled you. He pinned her against the wall, basically. I searched for you. You weren't there. And then she's like, he reeked of magic. Like, I think if a guy isn't growling or there's not some kind of deep guttural noise, it's like, it's not in... Romantasy always has deep guttural growls every freaking time. Yeah, he growled. It's in one... I'm telling you. She asked me not to be gentle with her either.
Too much information.
Then there's a snarl. If there's not a growl, there's a snarl. But to her credit, I give her that. She's like, I'm not someone's leftovers, bitch.
Good.
And I was like, good girl, good. That's right. I don't want I'm no one's seconds. Get two.
But she's opening the door there. She would have just dismissed him, but she's like, no.
Welcome to the Literary Labyrinth podcast, episode 2.
Yes, where we break down chapters 13 to 23 of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
That's right. This is our second episode, so we are now at that point in the story. So we're going to do a deep dive and talk about all those things that Farah's getting up to. But if this is your first time tuning in to our podcast, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to listen to episode 1, please do feel free and join us as we go through chronologically through this Court of Thorns and Roses. My name is Leela, and I'm a nerd for books with unrealistic standards for men and a deep love of fantasy.
My name is Linda. I want to read more, but I am a slow reader, and this is encouraging me to read more when I have the time.
Yes, and we are two sisters, one that reads fast,
one that reads slow.
Indeed. So we're coming from this from both sides of the pond. So here at the Literary Labyrinth, we take a book that we've both read, and then we discuss sections of the chapters at a time. Once we come to the end of the book, we will make our decision on how many goblins we believe it should have, in honor of the Goblin King, and whether or not it survives the bog of eternal
stench.
Ew. So let's see. A Court of Thorns and Roses, chapters 13 to 23. That's right. We're doing the odd numbers this time.
Yes.
Okay, let's dig in and talk about what starts to happen.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm just going to flip my book.
So where we got off to, she's still angry with being trapped at the spring court.
Yeah, do you know what? Would you be angry? Because like to me, I'm like chill vibes, beautiful springtime outside. I just sit, read my book. Okay, the food situation's a little bit precarious, but it was okay. We've discovered that. So
I actually think I would be more excited. Number one would be food for me. I'm like, I'm getting food here. I'm getting good food,
free accommodation,
and sleep. A good bed. You don't have to share with two others. You've got a bed on your own.
Exactly.
So it's good.
Exactly. You don't pay rent. You have a lady that literally is your maid.
A lady servant waiting on you hand and foot.
Hello.
So I'm like, yeah. I mean, we did approach some of the monsters there, the Puka and the Boje.
Yeah, but we established that if she stayed in the palacey house thing, that she'd be safe.
Yeah, she did that on her own account, but she didn't listen. So I would like to foresee that there was probably more monsters that she's going to approach because she won't listen.
100%. Yeah. We get into chapter 13, don't we? And what is she doing?
She's still stuck there. Go, I need to escape. I need to tell my family. But she can't. We find out in this chapter 13 that Freya can't read and she can't write because they were not necessary. So Tamlin says she's safe. She doesn't have to live up to that obligation that her mom told her when she was 8 years old to say, look after your family. So she's like, right, my obligation is served. So I'll write them a letter to tell them I'm safe, but she can't read and write. So this poses a problem.
It does. And that's something we learn about. So we learn she's illiterate, so she's going to struggle
Yes.
with that. And then you don't realize like how big of a problem that's actually probably going to be, considering in this world everything is letter writing. But that's kind of like gives you a little bit of backstory that when her mom died and stuff, like again, her dad didn't look after her and give her a proper
No, none
education.
of them.
What an asshole. So
And
then
I
you have
think,
to query, is the sisters, are they also illiterate? We don't know.
yeah, well,
Maybe they
it
are.
does mention in here, like, Nesta. So it says Nesta does know how to read and write. So, like, they kind of just give up
Uh,
by the time she
uh,
came around. So, like, I
right,
think they got poorer
right.
and they were like, we got bigger problems.
But like we don't want to deal with this. Yeah, fair enough. But
Yeah.
then she's doesn't she also see the map of like the story of Prythian, and she
Oh,
gets
yeah.
like a
She
little
sees
story about that.
a mural. Like, so she goes off to the study and trying to write her letters in secret, which is like,
Mm.
what the hell? And then but she finds
It's
this
like, ask for
mural.
help, girl. It's
Yeah.
okay. We're not like shading on you because you don't know how to read
Oh,
and
yeah.
write. We'll figure it out.
Sam Tam is trying to be nice to her and he's like, if you need any help, she's like, no, don't. So he like
Tam tam.
finds anyway, she gets to find this mural and she's like, oh, what's that? And it's the story of Perithian. And it
Mm-hmm.
began with a cauldron.
Always does.
Yeah. So she's just finding out about this land and that it was made ages ago and all the fairies lived there and the humans were their servants and all this kind of stuff. And then there was a big battle. And it's all in this giant mural. But she says,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
handy.
even meant for me.
I mean, that is handy. So then she understands the difference between like autumn court, dawn court, spring court,
Yeah.
summer court, winter court, night court, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, is there a winter court? Did I just invent
Yeah.
that? I think I just
No, there
invented
is
that.
one. She says there's six
No,
other
there is.
courts
There
of
is.
Corinthian. Yeah, autumn, summer, winter. They're enough easy to pick out. And then there's two glowing courts, the southern of the softer red or paler, the dawn court, which is a lovely bright golden yellow, the day court, and then she's like, oh, there's this awful place called the night court, which is frozen, mountainous and dark.
Dark and miserable and
There were
horrible.
things in the shadows beneath those mountains, little gleaming teeth. So yeah, don't go there. A land of lethal beauty. So we find out
Lethal
that like
beauty.
there's some nice courts and then there's some evil courts.
Yeah. So there's especially, but this is all from kind of Tamlin's view. His thing is like, yeah, you're the best, and you're kind of
Why?
like, are you though?
Who
Because
painted this mural? Who did
that's
this
what I'm
mural?
trying to say. It's like my vibe from Tamlin is he's like the spring court's amazing and everyone else is
Yeah.
dirt, and you're just
Yeah.
kind of like, this is a one-sided opinion, Tam Tam.
Yeah, this chapter I found was actually a bit like this is my problem with this book, and I don't know if anyone else does this, is that it's like, go, 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 and then it's like, stop, boring. Go, go, go,
Yeah.
boring. So this is sort of like a
You know what? You do
nothing's
have a point.
happened.
I suppose because it's still early days in the book, you're kind of like, all right,
Story building.
this is where she is, this is what's happening, and then something. Well, the one thing we do learn towards the end of this chapter 13 is that the surreal, a new creature.
Yes. Yeah. So she doesn't believe that she's trapped there and has completed her oath to her mom and all this. And she wants to figure out how can she escape. And
Mm-hmm.
Lucian, trickily, I don't know if he still likes her or whatever, says, oh, yeah, you can ask the
He's
cereal.
sus. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
sus as well.
What did he
Don't get.
say?
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, what like at the end of chapter
Yeah. And at
13.
13, he's like, you have your secrets and I have mine. So he wasn't tell her anything. And then he goes, but if you were a cereal, that's how I would find out answers. And he's like, yeah, you have to trap it. It's got a weakness for young birch trees and freshly slaughtered chickens. And you're like, what? What is this thing?
Can I just say, like, in what universes they're like, Linda, I got a weakness for a birch tree and
And
some
chickens.
nice chicken and birch tree. Bring me some chicken birch. Shit, I've been captured.
Yeah, like just like, okay, right. So she's like, but like she doesn't question this at all. And she's like,
She's
sure,
like, chicken and
okay.
birch trees. Got it. Got it. I believe you. Not like maybe,
How
but
big
I
is this thing?
suppose, but that's the thing is, I suppose she has to go with it because she can't read a book to check he's lying.
Yeah. But she doesn't
So,
ask him any other questions like, hey, how big is this thing? Is it a thing? Is it a person? Has
but
it got fur? I don't know.
I think it's because she doesn't want to let on that she's actually going to do it. She's actually going to put this plan in order, which we then get into chapter 14, where she's like, I'm going to capture the cereal because I want some questions answered. And he's like,
Yeah.
she's not stupid enough to do this. And it's like, no, she's
Yes,
gonna do
she
it.
is.
She's gonna totally do it. So yeah, so we get into chapter 14,
Yeah.
and she
So
puts
it's
on her
like,
hunting gear, basically.
yeah, and then she's like out in the lands, and she's like, the lands were empty as manna themselves. So this is one of the things as well. Where are the flippin' fairies that are supposed to live in the fairy court? Like, the land is
Well, that's
empty, the manor is empty. What's happened to them? She's just like, so I just went out.
well, that's it. Because you know, again, Tamlin's not really answering those questions of where is everyone.
Yeah,
Like, is there
what's happened to
villages
them?
nearby that we're supposed to know about?
Exactly. Where do the fairies live? Like, summer court is very singular.
It's actually quite fun rereading it because there's things that I know happen. Obviously, you don't.
Where
No,
are all the
no, no, no.
fairies?
But that you get to that and then you come back to like rereading these bits and you go, yeah, yeah. And also like, yeah, Tam. Okay, so then she captures it and she's like, what would a human woman want from a cereal? And she's
Yeah.
like, ha ha ha.
It's good actually this bit because then we get to find out what exactly it looks like. So she's like, it was tall, thin veiled figure in dark tattered robes, spindly, scabby grey arms, and yellow crackle fingers. So it's basically a
Click, 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 click,
decrepit
click, click.
skeleton person. Yeah. He's just like, hello. So you're like, okay, maybe it's not that hard. Like, maybe it's not that hard if it's all just skin and bones to catch it. It was quite easy then.
I know, well, that's it. Yeah, it's like click, 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 click. It just says click, click. That's
Oh yeah,
literally
click, click its
what
fingers.
you did not know. I love how like mine's becoming like a posh person. You did not know.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're like,
Okay. Breaking it down, I actually like what reading this chapter, I was like, oh crap, the cereal. And then I was like, hold on, I actually like the cereal.
this cereal sounds great.
I actually think they would be a great friend. They've got a
Yeah.
lot of gossip, they've got a lot of info, and I mean, they were pretty kind. They were like, what do you want to know?
Yeah, they probably can give you hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a bit icky. Yeah, no, but also the thing is, Seal said, what do you want? She said, okay, I'll give you answers. And she does. She's like, you know, is there no
Yeah.
way to go home? And she says, no, unless you seek to be killed and your family with you, you must remain here. And you're like, oh, why?
Yeah, but at least we get a
Why?
definite answer. We're like, yep, just have to stay here now. Can you just stop trying to escape? Okay.
But she did. But this is the only point that she finds out that Tamlin is a High Lord because she
Oh,
says you did
yes.
not know. Interesting. And
No.
she's like, huh.
So, yeah, she's like, oh, you need to stay with him unless you want to die. And she's like, okay, fine. So basically, she gets all the answers, but she doesn't like any of the answers. And then all of a sudden, she's interrupted.
That's right. She is. That's
Um,
right. So what happens? It's not the Beaujolais this time.
Yeah,
Boogie.
no, it's this new monster called the Naga. Fairies made of shadow
Naga.
and hate and rot. I can't really.
I
So
mean, they're
what
not
does that look like?
doing much for them. A fairy's full of hate and rot. I think it's just like icky. In my head, it's like black goo,
Oh,
pus, grossness.
wait. In chapter 15, it says there are serpentine features and male humanoid bodies. So in my head, it's looking like a male body with
Like
crocodile
the
scales and a
slither.
big crocodile head, or no, it can't be a
Oh
snake's
yeah.
head. Maybe a snake head? I don't know.
No, you're right. What would that look like?
I need to go and look at like the
You know
Instagram
what we need
fan
to do?
art.
We need to do some.
Fan art.
Yeah, if you're please send us some fan out of what Naga is look like, and also what does a cereal look like. We would love to see these.
Yeah.
If you've got some preferable cool fan art images of what
Yeah.
these creatures look like, please send them, because actually I haven't seen any of that stuff, so I've just been reading.
Can we add the Beaujolais to it? Because I think the Beaujolais is going to be like fabulous.
When Linda says Beaujolais, she means the bogey, but she says Beaujolais. the same way that
Dance
Tam
to me.
Tam has now become a thing. If
Look at
Tamlin
me.
is now Tam Tam.
Tam Tam. I have to put Tam Tam in my book notes because it comes up tampon when I write Tamlin. So his name is just Tam Tam now. So that's why.
That's not something you want to
No,
know.
it
No.
isn't.
Tamlin the tampon.
So we're going on to the chapters now. Now we're up like a whoa,
Yeah,
like it's all happening again. Like go, 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 go.
but the interesting thing that we should take note of is when these Naga come up to her and the Surreal's like, "Ah," leave, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, he's like, the Dark Mother has sent us a gift today, brothers. And you're like, who's this Dark
Yeah,
Mother?
who is the Dark Mother? Is it the she that they must speak of? She? No.
She who must not be
Or
named.
like, are they talking like Mother Nature? Is that what they're
Or
trying?
God, like some god of some sort.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But there's four. There's four Nagas and her. She ain't winning that fight. She ain't
Yeah.
winning that fight.
But she does put up a good fight. So the Surreal's there in the middle of them all, and she uses her first arrow to like free the Surreal, which I actually think that's good play on her because that's
Yeah.
a
So
nice
you know
friend to have.
that's
Don't kill your
true.
friend.
No, don't. Also, that would be a dick move by her. She didn't. She was like, "Free me. I've told you what you need to know." It was
Yeah,
like, you let her go. She's served her purpose.
I
You
told
can
you
be a
the tea.
decent. I tell you, you want to know the tea? Get a Surreal, bitch.
Yeah, I told you the tea. Now let me go. And she
You want
does.
to
She
know
lets
the
him
tea?
go.
Ask a Surreal. That's what you do.
So yeah, she does that. Then she fights off one of them, manages to get a thing in its neck or something, and then she
Yeah,
just
what
runs,
happens?
running up that hill.
Oh, that's it. She's like, branches and twigs snapped
Yeah,
behind me, too close, and snarls that sounded like nothing I'd heard from Tamlin or Lucian or the wolf or any animal filled the still woods. I love that she mentions the wolf there. This wolf never forgotten. Never forgotten.
never
May he rest in
forgotten.
peace. Yeah.
But then she's saved. There's a whole, and then they're about to like kill her, and then it's like that bit in Beauty and the Beast where she goes off, and the wolves come after her, and then the beast comes to
Yeah.
defend her. And Tam Tam comes and saves her, gets a bit injured, but she's like, "You saved me," and you're like, "This is literally Beauty and the Beast again, isn't it?"
It is. It is. It's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. So he saves her. She's like, "Oh, thanks so much," and now she's kind of changed, and she's kind of resigned to her fate, and she doesn't tell him about the cereal. She hasn't told him about that yet, and she doesn't let on that she knows he's a High Lord yet, biding her time.
Yeah, she wants to keep the tea to herself for a little bit. A little bit of
Hmm.
anticipation. But at this point, she's now, yep, scooped up, I guess, gone back to the Spring Court in safety.
Yeah.
And we're at chapter 16, and she's like having a bath, cleaning her wounds, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff.
She has that chat with Alice, her handlady,
Handmaiden, a
handmaiden,
maiden
or
for the
whatever.
room, for her stay, basically. She sort of lets wind kind of information she's learned from her little escapade in the previous chapter, where she's like, apparently there's a story about the king of Highburn,
Oh
and then Alice is
yes.
like, you do not, it's not of your concern. You do not need to know these things. And you're like,
Yes, that was one of the
oh.
things that the serial said. There was a lieutenant or something. She kind of gives a bit more information because she's just like, what is this blight that's going on with their like
Yeah,
inky
what's
masks and
going on
stuff?
here?
Yeah,
What's
and he's like,
this?
across the Western Sea, aka Ireland, there's a place called Highburn, that's ruled by a wicked king. Yeah, and there's no humans that live there anymore because even though there's ones in Printhean, Highburn didn't like humans, so they just killed them all.
Yeah, they were like,
And
ew, bye.
he was like really unhappy and he wants to change the world, but then he dispatched his most trusted and loyal commanders, his deadliest warriors, and they sailed over here for a brutal war,
To
and they had
Prythian. Sorry, I still can't say that.
Prithian,
I'm gonna
and
say
they
yours sounds better, Prythian.
Prithian, but then they infiltrated the High Fae courts over here. But nearly 5 decades ago, one of his commanders disobeyed him, the
Oh.
deceiver. And that's where it cuts off before the Naga come. So we hear that there's this deceiver person. And maybe that's what the blight
Mm-hmm.
was. They've done some kind of
Mm-hmm.
magic or something. I don't know what it was. Or
I'm saying nothing.
so we know there's a big commander from Ireland Highburn, come over and is done something.
Yeah, but I will say at this point, when she's talking to Alice after she sort of learned this information, she's got a little bit more of a backbone. Not that she didn't have a backbone, but ever since she arrived at Springcourt, she's like, la 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 la, it's magical. And now she's like, nah, 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 what's going on here? And that's why when Alice is like, it's not if you're concerned, she's like, I think it is, I'll have
Yeah.
you know. And then she's like, give me the deal.
The
And
deets.
because she's concerned, whatever is going on here, if it goes into the human world and starts attacking her family, it's a concern. So give me the tea, to which they're kind of a bit like, no. Then there's also a conversation with Alice where she's like, some age like you, because she's referencing Fae children age differently, which
Yes.
I guess makes sense, magical and all that shit. But Alice, you can see that she's like, I still have a family. I'm still concerned.
Where are
And you're
they?
like, where are they? What's going on here? I don't know.
They're safe. And you're like, why is it not safe here? I thought this was the safe court. But
That's
it's all a
it.
bit weird.
It's very hush hush, and we need answers, and we're not getting them. We're not getting
Yeah.
these answers at this point.
There is a good bit though after that, because she's just like, if you wanted to catch a cereal, you didn't need dead chickens. You just needed to offer it a new robe, and it would have groveled at your feet.
Son of a beep, and that's right. Because
Yeah,
I remember
so you're
she
just
said
like-
she's talking about Lucy, because Lucian's
Yeah,
such
Lucian was just being
But
a
honestly,
beep.
actually, in that sense, right, Lucian could have gave her a better. Well, luckily the cereal wasn't attacking her, trying to kill her. So okay, fine, but still, dick move, man.
Yeah, exactly. Dick move.
Yeah, because then Lucian then says in his chair the next day, I heard you two had a rather exciting afternoon. I wish I could have been there to help. And you're like, Lucian, that's a rule for you.
You wanted her to
little shit.
die.
You wanted her to get killed, basically.
Yeah. But after that whole thing, yeah, at the dinner, she kind of been like, right, I did catch a cereal, and I found out you're the High Lord, and he's like, oh, what? Who told you that? Blah blah blah, and she's like, yeah, I found out, bitch.
I caught the cereal, because they're like, did you get? He's like, no, correction, I caught it. I did that. I'm amazing. Shove it, you Fae Lords.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
keeping things from me.
I'd start shouting, but I think today was punishment enough. You actually snared the cereal, a human girl. And you're like, wow, dick.
Yeah.
So, hear me out. Hear me out. Right. So they have that whole thing, and she's like, good night. You guys are being dicks, whatever. So then there's a point where like Tam Tam's like knocking at her door. Oh, I want to help you. Or you love them,
read.
family. What?
Yeah. He wants to help her with her writing because she's illiterate. Because they made fun about that too, and she's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I could help you write. And she's like, go away, leave me alone. And he's like, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just trying to help you. He said in a quiet voice, I'm not insulting you, in a quiet voice. And then she's like, I don't need your help. And then he says, clearly not. What an asshole.
He is a bit condescending. And he's like, can fairies be friends with mortals? 500 years ago, even fairies were friends with mortals, and they were one to war on their behalf. And she's like, what? Like, so, because they weren't enemies before. So she's like trying to put, oh, maybe we could be friends after all this kind of stuff.
And I know I'm slightly taking the clearly not out of context, because the only reason he's saying that is he's saying it like, oh, because you took down a fairy in a wolfskin and then ensnared a cereal and then killed 2 nagas on your own. And I get that's why it's like, you clearly don't need my help. But it's kind of like hidden. It's like he insults her and then tries to backtrack on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did find that, like, he's trying to be nice. He's trying to help her with her writing. He's trying to, like, do this. And then he'll say something like, oh, yeah, I am, like, your family, I glamored them. I altered their memories so that they think that you're living with an aunt. And, like, she's like, what? You brainwashed my family?
Yeah, he's, like, emotionally whiplashing her. It's like, you know, I'm into you, but you're kind of dumb. But you're so strong, but you shouldn't go out. But, you know, like, you can do anything. But really, I should just keep you here. Why don't you just paint another room?
You keep going, oh, maybe he is a nice guy. And then you go, no, he's not. Okay.
It's like toxic, red flag.
And then you turn around and go, no, maybe he is nice. And you're like, okay, no, they're being really... No, you brainwash my family.
But this
You
is
do
how
this.
the Stockholm Syndrome comes into it, because when you're inside these walls and you only have one person who's protecting you or trying to, which he's not even, he kidnapped her. And as you
Yes.
said in the last episode,
Drugged
he
her.
drugged her.
Drugged her
He
so
was
that
just
she
putting
didn't
her
find a
to
way home.
sleep. No,
But
he
yeah,
drugged
so at the
her.
very end of that like chapter, he's like, is there anything that can make, you know, your stay better? She's like, I'd like to paint. And he's like, all right, cool. I'll show you the gallery. That's a
She's like,
gallery?
basically
AKA the library?
the library of Beauty and the Beast. So at this point, we're going to get into chapter 17.
She's like waiting for her paints, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, they're still
he hears.
backlogged on Amazon. We haven't quite got them yet.
Yeah, he's like, we're waiting
Like,
for
who
a paint.
delivers the paints? Like, I want to know who. Well, I want to know that story. He's
Who's
ordered
delivering
the
these paints?
Who's
Who's organizing
delivering?
this? Yeah, okay. And then she hears this shrieking noise while she's like, what's going on? And there's this fairy that they found dumped over the borderline, and they said, oh, he's from Summer Court, because he
The
doesn't look,
wings.
he's got glossy black eyes, wide, and he doesn't look like those fairies. He looks like a different kind of fairy.
It's like a
Or something,
different
because he doesn't
breed.
wear, he doesn't
Yeah.
have a mask.
Yeah, and then he's got his wings cut off, right? They ripped
Yeah,
off his
and he
wings.
says, she took my wings. So we find out more about this mystery woman
So it's a
that
woman.
Lucian doesn't like. Yeah, so he's got blue fingers, and he's from the Summer Court.
Right.
So
and
yeah,
then they're trying to help him, aren't they? They're like trying to like stop the bleeding, stop the clotting and stuff like that.
not stop the clotting, trying to clot it with bandages and put water
Sorry,
on him and stuff.
as you can see, I'm not the person you want in a medical emergency.
No.
I'd be like, it's not clotting. Great.
Great. You're doing
Yeah,
great.
she's dead. Great.
So she asked Tamlin if he can use his magic, and he can't use his magic because he doesn't have the
Well,
power
then
to
what's the point?
fix him.
A high lord can't do shit. Just saying.
Nobody says anything about she, and it's obvious that this fairy is going to die. So she's like, I'll stay with the fairy
"It'll
and
be
hold its
okay."
hand, and it'll be okay. You'll get them back, your wings. And he's like, you swear? And then this fairy dies.
And then Tamlin's like, cauldron save you. So it's obviously a thing they say, like, God God rest your soul. So God,
Yeah.
cauldron save you.
It reminds me of like Handmaid's Tale. Like, cauldron save you.
Oh
What
yes,
was it?
that's it. Blessed be the fruit. May the Lord open.
Be the fruit.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And I was just like, no, they've died. Blessed be the fruit. And I'm
May
like,
the Lord
okay,
open.
right.
Yes. And so the fairy has died, sadly. This poor thing, and she's tried to comfort it until it's died. And then they bury it, I believe. They bury the
so
fairy.
There is a
and-
tender moment between them where like Tamlin's like, I didn't believe you could, I thought you hated fairies and you wouldn't want to be with them. And she's like, no, nobody should die alone. And that's why I held her hand. And he's realizing she doesn't hate me. Maybe we can be friends. And you're like, okay, how he's going to F this up now that we're on a good path. Come on, Tam, you can do it. You can do it. Just don't put your foot in it.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly the way I felt when I was reading it. It was like, you know, like it's like that guy that you're really rooting for. You're like, go man, go. And then they say something, you're like, God damn it. Damn it,
Do not
man.
mention you drugged her family, you killed her best friend, or something like that.
Leave it out. Leave it. Let's try and be better. Let's be better. And you're doing so good. It's amazing. And you effed it right.
So well.
Okay. It's always the case.
They buried the fairy. She wakes up the next day. The fairy thing and all the mess that was in the whole foyer area has all been cleared up. So it's like it never happened.
But then at the end of that, she's like, I regret what I did to Andras, who was the wolf that she killed.
Yeah.
And so there's like a respect.
Yes, respect.
I don't actually hate fairies now, like a lot. I hate maybe a little bit, but not as much.
So this is chapter 18 we're going into now. And it's a page and a half where they talk about her feelings for fairies and this fairy that died and they buried it. And then it's like, hey, you want to go for a ride? And she's like, yeah, where to? Boom. Mourning? No, we're not going to mourn this. Where are we going?
Hello, Barbie, let's go party.
So they go for a picnic. Tam, Lucian and her go for a picnic.
It's spring. And then he's like, we brought a blanket.
Yeah, this is a glen. I do like it. And she's like, oh, it's so beautiful here.
But
blah,
it's
blah,
funny
blah.
because Lucian's like third wheeling on this.
He is such a third wheel. I feel a bit bad for him. He just drinks the wine and goes, bugger off, bye.
It's so true.
She's kind of coming back with some more comebacks now to us, thank God. So she's standing up for herself a bit more. So he's just like, oh, what did you learn? And she's like, yeah, I learned loads about you, dick. He's like, whoa, I'd pay good money for that.
They're having a bit more fun. There's a little bit more banter. There's a little bit more bants between them because he's like, Tamlin's like, I'd pay good money to hear what Cyril would say to Lucian. And you're like, fun, fun, fun. And then he's like, I want to show you something.
And I'm like, come on, guys, you can do this. You can do this. You really like her. Show her something. And he takes her by the wrist and tugs her down the hill. So yeah, he takes her to a pool or something.
Yeah, it's like a pool of it's starlight. That's what he says. So it's all starlight in the pool, and she's like, "What? How is this possible? This is Prithian. According to your legends, nothing is impossible." Okay, rub it in my face, why don't you? Because I'm just a mere mortal.
She's still like asking the questions, which actually I think I would be the same. Like, what the hell is going on? Who the hell is this? What is going on? What is happening?
Who are
so
you?
Trying to
what
get
is
around
that?
it.
Why? Who? What? When? Where? And why?
Yeah, she's like, is Lucian all right? Because he, when they were looking after the blue fairy that died, he kind of went off to go off and throw up, and he's just like, yeah, Lucian went through a tough time, and we finally find a bit of Lucian's like backstory where he was the youngest son of the Autumn Court. He wasn't gonna like inherit the title or anything, so he was kind of a bit separate from his brothers. But then he fell in love with someone, and then they executed them right in front of Lucian. And then some of the brothers wanted to kill him off when he left the court, and 3 of them went out to kill him. 1 came back. Tam killed 1, and Lucian killed 1. And you're like, what the what?
I mean, you know when you really think, you go, damn, family issues and family trauma. I swear. It's tough out there. It's tough. But then Tamlin's like, oh, I used to come here as a boy, and you kind of learn about that, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, when was that? And he's like, a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. How old are you? How long have you been 18?
Yeah. So, yeah. How long you been 17? While. Twilight reference, guys. Twilight. They are like, when did you start hunting? And la la la. And that's pretty much what the chapter is, right?
This is like, I'm sorry, but I'm like boring. Yeah.
But then he does, the end of that chapter 18, he basically, Tamlin says to Farah, I heard you screaming, because I think she had like a nightmare and stuff before. And I mean, why wouldn't you? You've come across a bunch of creatures and gone, what the hell is this? And so then he gives her a knife.
So she feels a bit more safe.
Yeah, and he's like, just don't bury it in my back. And I'm like, no promises, man. No
You're
promises.
Just like, dude, you were doing so well.
Yeah, because he goes, it's yours. And you're like,
it's yours.
Don't bury it in my back, please. And you're like,
no.
What?
Why? Does she need to?
However, exciting time, chapter 19, Amazon has delivered her paint. Boom.
Yay.
She got some crafting. It's probably next day delivery, so it was pretty quick. So she's like, woohoo, I got some paint. Let's do this.
But the thing is that I kind of was like, oh, this is such a boring chapter again. This is so boring. She wants to paint memories from her human life.
No, but the painting is important because I think it gives you a sense of what she's very good at, and it is an important part of the story, her being a painter. Like it comes into different things in the book is what I mean.
Well,
so I'm just saying, maybe not necessarily. Anyway, I'm gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna stop talking. Okay, stop talking. But then Tamlin's so fascinated because he's like, I never knew humans could be so capable of what? Of what? Making art? Making art? Humans are amazing at it. Like, screw you guys. Honestly,
I did make some notes on this because I was like, I don't know why I felt so tremendously ashamed of myself for leaving. So she feels upset about her family leaving. And all those years, what I did for them, and they didn't try to stop you from taking me. Like, she's still upset. So she's doing this, she's painting, she's kind of reminiscing about the past. And then she kind of confides in Tamlin and saying, you know, they probably don't care about me because they didn't stop you. Like, so that's it.
Yeah, it was so easy for them to be like, we're just going to sit back and let you be taken. It kind of was, though. And she has a fair point there. Because none of them went, no, not our sister. None of them said that. None.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, that's why did I believe the Pucker's illusions? Because they would have never come. And I just really thought they loved me that much that they would come, but they never did.
It is sad. It is
Yeah.
sad moment.
But then there is a tender moment. He took her hand and oh, like he lifted her hand as if they were answering enough. Her lips were smooth against my skin. Oh yeah, he kisses her hand. His breath is warm and my knees buckled as he lifted my other hand to his mouth
Buckling
and
knees.
kissed it
Buckles.
carefully. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. She's bleeding as well. I forgot about that. I can't remember why she cut her hand. I was that bored. I did not realize why she cut her hand.
I think she cut her hand from painting. Am I
I
right?
don't know.
I don't
That was
remember
it. I'm
that bit
sorry.
either.
The chapter was so dull. She was like painting, painting. Then he came in and was like, I'm so sorry. And they had this tender moment. I didn't even know what she had dropped to her hand, but he tried to fix it. And I was like, okay, now, oh, there's a tender moment. I'll listen now. And I've got no idea why she's got I don't really care why she's bleeding a hand, but just, get it on.
She's clumsy. She's clumsy. But there's also a really sweet where she's like, he says, my father had this garden planted for my mother.
Oh.
And then he says it was a mating present. And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
insinuation. He's coming
What
on
is
to
this
her.
mating? Yes. And she's like, oh, the mating bond is so deep that marriage is insignificant in comparison. So we find that, like, no, this is like some fairy
Like
attraction
it's a
thing.
deep, deep thing. It's
Yeah.
like you will die if you're mate, if you're not, without them.
They're confiding in each other's families. She's getting to know a bit about them. And she's like, right. And then, like, how is your family? They were all killed by the High Lord of an enemy court. You're like, whoa.
Has anybody's family not been murdered or killed?
Yeah,
Anyone?
like, oh my God, like traumatizing past for Tam Tam, traumatizing past for Lucian. Like,
Lucian.
do the So I'm kind
We
of
should
getting
speak
the.
to Alice. What's her deal? All we know is her family's safe, apparently.
So do all the courts hate each other and they just killing each other's
Well, it
families?
kind of
That's what I'm
feels
kind of
like that. At this point, it kind of feels like everyone's just murdering each other.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, they're bad. Everybody seems to have trauma in this book.
A lot of
But
trauma.
then
A lot of trauma.
before the chapter closes, we hear about calamari.
It's not calamari. It's calamari.
Cyanide.
It's calamari, not calamari, but fine,
It
you can
reads as
call it that.
calamari. It's in 2 days. Fire night. There's a ritual.
Yes, but is that not? It's called. We don't know what it's called yet in this chapter, but it's some kind of ritual, and they're like, "What is it?" And she's trying to find out, and they're like, "It's got nothing to
Yeah.
do with you, Farah." And you're like, once again, block. Literally, she's like, "I'm asking questions," and you're like, "You don't need to know this.
Yeah.
You're
No,
not
it's more.
part of this."
It's worse than that. Like there's the bonfires over there. This is calamari. You're not invited.
Yeah, basically, it's like, oh my God, that looks amazing. It looks so fun. You're going to have like this cool party. Yeah, it's awesome. We have it like every year. It's like really fun, but you ain't coming, bitch. You ain't invited. You human trash. Yeah.
You have to stay at home. There's a ritual. And she's like, what's the ritual? I can't. And she's like, oh, what's
By
going
the way,
on?
it's that thing that you used to do, which is it was a meme that you sent me, which is so accurate when we were at school and somebody was hurt or somebody was going through something. He's like, listen, guys, like just leave them alone. They're like, what happened? What is this? Look, no, can't talk about it. Like
I'm the only one that knows.
You're not
I'm the
even
only one that knows.
yeah, you're not privy to this information. No, we just want to no. It's like that.
It is, isn't it? Like
It's
that. And you're just
you're
like,
not in the circle. And it's like, yeah, but we just went to the pool of
goodbye.
starlight. We were opening up with each other. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're trash. Get loser.
I thought you wanted us to be friends, and now you're like, you're not invited to my spring party.
Yeah, the invitations have been sent out. They're full. We can't. I'm sorry, we can't change it.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. Sorry, bye.
And then all of a sudden he stops and he's like, stay hidden no matter what. And she's like,
Which is
what the F?
ominous. Ominous.
But that's exactly what Lucian did with the Beaujolais. Remember, he was like, shh, just look ahead. Don't look at it. And it's just like, another thing. So she's probably like, what the hell now? And it's this
That's
beast
true.
or another monster, who's like going, your continued behavior is garnering a lot of interest at court. And she has begun wondering why you haven't given up yet.
But then an arrival happens called Acotar.
Yeah, some kind of monster who's like, she's asking why you haven't given up yet. The she. Who is she?
Oh, this is the she, which could be
Yeah.
connected to the person that's like, she took my wings. So it could be the same she.
Yeah, and they said, oh, why did Naga wound up dead not too long ago? So they know things that are happening in the court. This is another thing we need fan art for. We need more fan art. I don't know what this thing looks like.
Yeah, can you please send us fan art of what an Ator,
Oh.
what Ator looks like, basically. What
Yeah.
Because Ator is singular, so yes.
So it's one monster thing.
Yes, it's one thing.
Okay. She sets them loose. So basically, whoever she is setting all the monsters loose in their lands to
That's
traumatize
right.
them.
So at least we find a little bit more about this Ator that's happening, because we know Lucian absolutely hates them, because they're like, get out, we have enough of your ilk swarming on the borders and blah blah blah. And then
Yeah.
Lucian's like, if the Ator saw her, and Tamlin's like, it didn't. And he's like, are you
Yeah.
certain? And then Tam's like, it didn't, I'll see you at dinner, because they like put like a little fake
Or some glamour over or
over
something.
her, so she couldn't be seen by anybody to protect her, which is again ominous, because that Ator was basically there.
It was just to like kind of like taunt them, really. It just showed up to be like, haha, heard you're having Calumet soon, and they're gonna like, let's traumatize you, and they like, get out of here,
Yeah.
and like, I'm gonna send out more things. But Freya's all like, ooh, who is this court? Is this a high lady? Is she the one that killed Tamlin's parents? So we don't have
Yeah.
like more questions. Like, who the bloody hell is this?
He's just the guy that's like, hey, you suck, give up. And you're like, give up what?
Give up.
What are they giving up? Give up what?
Is it she wants to be the queen or something? Is she like from another court and she's like, give me your land?
I would assume at this point in the story that giving up means somebody wants to take their land. They want to
Yeah.
be like, give up your land, I'm taking it. So yeah, she wants to be the queen, or whoever she is, you know. So chapter
Yeah.
20.
Calamari. It gets good again.
Calamari.
It gets good again.
The
Calamari.
day is called the Day of Fire Night. Calanmai. That's what Tamlin's called it, which I guess is calamari now, so that's fine. We're calling it calamari.
Calamari. Woo. And
So
she's
there's
like,
drums
what's
going on. The party's getting louder. It's like boom, boom, boom. Hey, party.
She can spell magic. She knows what's going on. And then all of a sudden, so she's like staying at the steps, looking at these like lights in the distance. Tam Tam comes up shirtless, and she's like, "Hey, where you going?" And he's like, "Calamari, I have to go." And she's like, "To do what?" And then he just buggers off.
Yeah,
You're just like,
yeah, because
okay.
he's like, as the High Lord, I have to partake in the Great Rite. So now we know it's called the Great Rite.
Okay.
And she's like, what's the Great? He's like, go to your chambers. He cuts her off. What's the Great? Go to your chambers.
Yeah.
And he
Go
snarls.
to the West Wing.
He snarls and he's like, lock your doors, set up a snare, whatever you do. Set up a snare? What the
What's
hell
happening?
is this party? What is it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm concerned. Are there, like, you know, whips and chains going on here? What kind of
What
freaking
is
thing
going
do
down?
you guys... What is this Fae community about? Sus is what I'm saying.
So suspicious. Like, what the hell?
She's trying to ask questions, and he's just like, just do it.
I feel so bad for her. Like, she's like, why he kidnapped her. And she's like, okay, hi, where am I? I don't want to tell you. And then she's like, okay. And he's like, can we be friends? Who are you? Do you want to tell him that he's a high lord?
Yeah. Let's be friends when you tell me
issues.
absolutely nothing about yourself. Cool, I'm going to this party. It's called the Great Riot. I'm a High Lord. Okay, cool. So what's a shh? No, but I need to shh. But anyway, I need more of a shh. I got a whole bag of shh with your name on.
Yeah. Great. Okay then. Thanks.
So anyway, he goes off. Everyone's at this party. She's in her room. She makes a little fake booby trap situation on her door.
But then she's bored as shit and it's getting louder and stuff. And she's like, oh, screw this. I'm off. Which is why is everybody keeping this from me? I'm going to go see. And it looks like a party. It does actually look like a party. She's just not been invited
a great
to.
Party. Yeah,
So
also, she's like, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to sneak up. I'm going to look. I'm not going to enter. I'm just going to suss it out. Because doesn't she put on a cloak or something?
A cloak. Yeah, she takes a horse and gets a cloak on. Because, as well, there's been nobody there. There's been nobody in this house. There's been nobody in the grounds, nobody in the land. And all of a sudden, there are fairies. And she's like, well, yeah, I'm going to go check it out. What the
But then
hell?
she goes there and she's got her cape, and then there's these two fairies that are like, ooh, human women.
Three
And then,
fairies.
is it three?
Yeah, there's three fairies.
Sorry, I missed one out.
When they've got pitch black, depthless eyes.
Yeah, it says, bold statement from a human on Kalan May when she says, leave me alone. So basically, what this tells me is that he was saying stay in your room because there are predators, just like the human
Yeah.
world. There are male predators that can't keep their hands to themselves, and they go, hey, bit of hotness, you human? Okay, we can have some fun with you. And she's like, get your hands off me. But then suddenly there's another
Yeah.
mysterious person all in black that's like, hey, I was looking for you. And she's like, I need help anyway, so I'll let this guy help
Yeah.
me. And he's dark, mysterious, handsome looking
No, no,
guy.
she says, the most beautiful man I've ever seen. Bye bye, Tam Tam.
That's why he was keeping me in my room, because this guy.
Yeah. Then we realize that he says he's a monster, but he's not wearing a mask because he's from another court.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
right.
but he says, why are you all out then? And she's like, oh, all the monsters have been let loose until dawn. So he doesn't sound like a nice guy.
No, but also, you kind of know that he probably is a scary dude because there were three fairies around her, and all of them were backed off as soon as he came. So you know he has some
Yeah.
kind of power or some kind of scary shit. And then she's like, "Okay, thanks for finding me. I appreciate
Yeah.
that." And he's like, "Enjoy the ride." And then you're just
Yeah.
like,
Stay
"Okay,
out of trouble.
better get the hell out of here and not get killed."
Well, before she goes, she says, so you're not part of Spring Court? And he's like, do I look like I'm part of Spring Court? And then he says,
Which is like, I don't know. I'm not from here, bitch.
no, I'm glad not to be a part of the noble Spring Court and glad of it. And then he gestures where the mask might be. And that's when she says, yeah, all the monsters have been let out of their cage tonight. So you're like, run away.
Yeah,
So she
this
manages to
guy.
get away from him. So that's good. But then she sees Lucian and he's
That's
like,
right. She bumps into Lucian and he's like, bitch, what'd I say?
what the are you doing here? Like
Yeah.
this. And he's like,
How
yeah.
many times you gotta be tell? And she's like, well, if you don't communicate to me what the issues are, I'm gonna go out and have a look
Yeah.
myself. And
But
he's
then
like,
there's
you
a bit,
idiot. He's like, you idiot. He literally calls her an idiot.
yeah. But there's a bit in it where he's like running fast and it just got me in my memory. You know that bit in Twilight where he's like, jump on my back, spider monkey. And then he goes really fast. That's what it feels like. He just grabs her, throws her on the shoulder. She's like, oh, we ran really fast and now we're back at the manor. Right. That was a Twilight moment there.
Well, this kind of ebbs into chapter 21.
Lucian like is actually kind of growing on me now because he actually does give her answers. What the F was going on? She's like, what's the great ride? And what's calamari? And he's like, right, okay. Each of the seven High Lords
Where was
performs
this
this every
information?
night.
But hold on,
Yeah,
where was this information before? Anyway,
just
continue.
a couple of
What is
hours before.
the great right?
Yeah,
Lucian says.
yeah. So each of the seven High Lords of Perinthian perform this every year since their magic comes from the earth and returns to the end, give or take. So Tam Tam will get some great, terrible magic, and then he has to go and find the maiden. And basically, then when he finds her, they will regenerate life for a year to come. So basically,
So
it's
he's
a
gonna
little bit way
impregnate
of
her.
saying, no, he's just going to have it on with her. And
But that
he
kind
goes
of
to go,
seems like he's gonna have sex with her and impregnate her if they're regenerating life. Maybe
but
not.
that means he's got a baby every year then.
Yeah, dirty hoe. Just saying it.
So basically, he gets all this dark magic. A maiden goes off and hides, and then he has to find her, have his way with her, and then boom, the crops will grow. And you're like, oh,
And then she's like, "Who is this maiden?" And he's like, "I don't know." He has to find her. He sniffs her out. Oh, I'm kind of a little bit jealous of that, but
yeah,
also I'm gonna go back to my room. And Lucian's like, "Ha ha ha. Well, Tam's not the only one who gets to perform the rite tonight." Well, burn.
what?
Because he's
No,
like,
this sounds
once
like
he makes his choice, we're all free to mingle. And basically, it's a giant sex party. It's as simple
yeah,
as what this is.
a nice little festival has turned dark, and we're like, okay, right.
I'm like, oh, I thought it was like drums, bonfire, music. No, we're all just having sex. Okay, great,
No.
great.
So yeah, good to get out of there, girl.
Lucian's like, okay, now you're back at the palace house, Spring Court. Stay in your room, Farah. To which
But
she
she
then
gets it
goes,
now.
okay, I understand, but I'm feeling a little parched. I would
Yeah.
like some water.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Oh, yeah. Then she bumps into Tam Tam. He's come in the middle of the night after his great ride. Yeah. I smelled you. He's
But
like,
what's funny is she's like, midnight snack. It's like she's literally egging Tamlin on as well, because she's like, I was going for midnight snack, but I'm gonna make it like midnight snack. And he's like,
yeah,
grrr,
she
growl.
has been influenced by calamari.
The cookie dropped out of my hand as he grasped my wrists. I smelled you. He's pinned her against the wall, basically. I searched for you. You weren't there. And then she's like, he reeked of magic. Yeah. You drove me mad. Grrr, growl. Because we always love a good growl in these books. Who doesn't? I think if a guy isn't growling or there's not some kind of deep guttural noise, it's not in. Romantasy always has deep guttural growls every
Deep
freaking time.
growling.
Yeah. He growled, growled, growled. It's in one. I'm telling you. Right. Anyway, she asked me not to be gentle with her either.
Too much
Then
information.
there's a snarl. If there's not a growl, there's a snarl. He brought his lips to my ear. I would have been gentle with you, though. Great. Thanks a lot. But to her credit, I give her that. She's like, I'm not someone's leftovers, bitch.
Good, good.
And I was like, good
Stand up
girl.
for yourself.
Good. That's right. I don't want your. I'm no one's seconds. Get two.
But
and
she's
then,
opening the door there. She would have just dismissed him, but she's like, no,
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
then
be.
she says that, so she stands up for herself. She's like, I'm not anyone leftovers, okay? And literally, as soon as she says that, she's trying to push him away. He grabs her hands again, and then she bites her neck. And she's
Yeah.
like, I cried out as his teeth clamped into the tender spot where my neck met my shoulder. And I'm
Assault.
like, I'm sorry,
Assault.
but hold on. Didn't you 2 seconds ago say, if I was with you, I would have been gentle? Clearly you lied because you're biting really hard and I'm crying out in pain. You dick.
Yeah. You're just like, no, no. And also, she didn't ask for that. And you just bit her. So what is going on there?
Consent, my friend, consent was not in this.
Yeah. It's a boundary. It's a boundary.
Yeah, but then she's like, he didn't pierce my flesh, but rather bit to keep me pinned. I'm trying to work that out.
Yeah, like
head.
as in, what, just to
So-
keep her there with force. I mean, that's still, to keep her pinned is still force.
I don't know. Anyway, don't ever disobey me again. Oh my god.
You're not her dad.
Yeah, piss off, mate. His nostrils, this is another one I like in Romantasy. His nostrils flared as he scented me. Oh, he growled once. As another growl. And
He's still got that dark magic in him.
then but to her credit, she's like, before we finish this chapter, don't tell me what to do. And don't bite me like some enraged beast. And he's like, chuckled bitterly. And then she says, which is insane, this is how you know she's a horny little bitch that needs to get some. And she's like, I wanted his mouth and teeth tongue on my bare skin, on my breasts, between my legs. And you're like, okay, we getting there. On to chapter 22, because that's why she write. This is why people, the Romantasy, they write like this to you, like, oh my god, are they gonna totally do it? But he's like, he's red flag, but he's all that's there, so you know.
She doesn't have much choice.
She doesn't.
It's either this guy or the most beautiful man, but he's in a monster. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
or you got the Naga, or you've got traumatized lotion. So there isn't that much choice.
There's not much choice. Yeah, there's not much choice. And she's obviously at that age where she's just like, I think she's 19 is what I understand, right? She's 19?
Yeah, she's 19 in this book.
Yes, she's 19. So she's like lots of just probably
feelings
like
and hormones.
Feelings and hormones and grr and growls and rars and all that. So anyway, we enter chapter 22 now.
Yeah. And she's peeved off the next day and she's got a big bruise on her neck. And she's like, I don't like you. You put a bruise on my neck.
What's this? It's like points to neck. What is this, sir?
But give it a page. And she's like, we apologized at dinner. He bought me a bouquet of white roses.
Can I just say, food makes everything better. You having an argument with anybody, your friend, your partner, your loved one,
Yeah.
get some good food down you, everything's better. You go, oh, I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad. And then you pass them like their favorite box of chocolates. They're like, but it's cool. It's cool. We'll just move on from it.
Yeah.
That's essentially what's happened here.
And then that night, so she's like, oh, well, if we're friends again, and she is feeling, oh, maybe he's very attractive. She gets dressed in a dress. She puts the dress on. She gets glammed up for dinner.
That's it. That is key to every romantasy. It's the moment they put on a nice gown and you're like, here we go. Here we go. Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
And then she comes down for dinner and Lucian's like, I'm late for something. And he just leaves them to it in the dinner room. He's like, I get it now. I'm a third wheel. It kind of clicked for him. He's like, I am the third wheel. And you're like, you've been the third wheel since chapter 1, mate.
Yeah. Should you have been at the picnic? Probably not, mate. But you were, so.
And so they have this magical table. And she's like, the magical table is so big. And he goes, click. And it's all back to being intimate. And she's like, how did you do that?
Because I'm a high lord, girl.
Think of it as a broom closet tucked between the pockets of the world. Does it tax you? Once it was easy as breathing, but now it requires concentration. Okay, so we learn that his powers are waning a bit because of this blight again, but he can still do power things. And so, yeah, he takes her to the
gallery.
The gallery, that's it. That he had cleaned because he didn't want to show her that. And so now it's all been cleaned and he can take her to her. But she wants to take him first to
the studio that she's been working in.
Yeah, the studio.
It's not even a studio, it's just like a room somewhere. And then she's like, have a look at my paintings that I've done. And one's of a pool of starlight. And then the other one's a forest where she grew up, where she used to hunt.
Yeah. She wants to gift him the nice starlight one because it was a nice happy day and a happy memory from her. But he doesn't.
But she just painted that one on the side. She just painted the forest one on the side. She's like, I've done this. I put a lot of effort. I put a lot of thought into this pool of starlight. I'm going to gift it to Tam Tam. But, I finished it. So I decided to paint something else on the side. And he's like, what's that? And she's like, no, that's just dark and things. She's like, I want that one. You're such a douche, Tamlin. She made you this pretty one.
He's like, it was bleak, empty, cold, the white and grey and brown and black. He's like, this was your life. I want that. It's cold and melancholy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of trauma.
He does have a lot of trauma. Also, she paints Isaac. It was a tan, sturdy male, hand fisted in the hay. The pale pieces of entwined among strands of brown coated with gold my hair. He's like, the man you used to see in your village. And I was like, oh, God.
Did you bed with him? I'm jealous now because you had bedded him and I don't like it.
I thought he had many lovers. He's been around a long time.
I know, exactly. He said those words, and yet she can't have a fling with some guy in her village, apparently. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And then she says, I want to help or something. And he's like, a human wishes to help a fairy.
Oh, yeah, they're friends now. We're friends now, aren't we?
It's my burden to hear. You don't have to. I do.
Oh,
what I have to face, what I endure, Farah. You would
This
not
is another
survive.
one of those chapters where you're
this
like,
is like when you're like, hey, let me help you, and then the person's like, what I have to endure, Linda, what I have to endure, I cannot speak of it. I cannot let you feel what I'm feeling. I'm going to talk about it a lot, about how you cannot know and how you can't endure it, but I'm going to tell you
calamari.
And then it's like, didn't Callan May teach you anything? And you're like, yeah, it did. Don't give me your shit. Talk. Communicate with words.
I know. Have we ever thought about talking about our feelings? Do they have therapists in Parinthia? Who knows?
This is the thing. This whole conversation between Tamlin and Farah, the reason it's a red flag is because, do you communicate with your partner? No, they don't need to know everything. It's for their protection. You're basically gaslighting them and love bombing them at the same time. Are you insane? Yeah.
I just feel like you get so close. You got her the painting thing. She did the gallery. She's like, oh, yeah, I made you a painting. I don't want that. I've got a really bad burden. And she's like, okay, well, like I've literally, I thought we were
not only did I bring you here to give you a pretty gift and you go, oh my God, thank you so much. That's really kind. You decided, screw that. I want the dark, depressing one that wasn't a gift. And I'm going to tell you, you want to help me? I can't burden with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to open up to you.
I'm
I
not
don't
going to
trust you
open up
enough.
to you. But I would love you to tell me more about yourself, but I'm not giving it. So it's basically I want a one-sided response. You obey me and you do what I tell you to do, and that's how it is.
Yep, that's it.
I didn't lock my bedroom door that night. And you're like,
Oh God.
girl just needs
Girl,
she needs her hole. That's what she
she
needs.
really needs a nice guy that
Oh,
doesn't
I
have this
know.
emotional trauma.
But maybe if she just, just has her hole and then she can move past this.
But they all have emotional trauma, so
They
this
do. They're not doing so good at all at
no,
all. So now we
no.
reach the final chapter of this
Yes,
episode,
kind of.
chapter 23.
Yeah. So they go off and to the grassy bits again and just having a picnic. I don't even know where they are. But they're just laying on the grass and Tam Tam's like, "Oh, can you
It's like
hear
a
that
glen.
willow?"
It's a glen
Another glen.
in the spring court. That's basically what it is.
And he's like, "Oh, that willow tree is sending me to sleep with its song." And she's like, "What the F? Are you on mushrooms?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're not a fairy. You can't hear the amazing stuff and the colors and all that."
Your senses are not attuned to mine.
Yes, I could let you see my world, hear it, smell it, taste it. And she's like, "And every gift comes with a price." He wants a kiss.
Wow. Wow, Tam Tam. Have you learned nothing? She's like, absolutely not.
Was a way to do this. There was a way to kind of give her the gift and then have a romantic moment and kiss her,
You know
not
when that
bargain it.
was? You know when that was? When she gifted him the pool of starlight painting. That was the moment that he could have gone, this is beautiful. Thank you for this gift. Kiss. And then slowly,
Yes.
the slow increment kiss. And then you'd be like, now, basically, he is just tricking her, going, I gotta have payment. Kiss me, bitch. Tam
No, not a bargaining
Tam.
chip. This is not, no. But she's becoming disillusioned now. She's just, I get it. There's not that many men in the
No, but
village.
she
And she's
also
just
has
like,
she
okay,
has no
fair
one
enough.
else to confide in. She has
No. So
no
she's
one
just
to
like,
talk to.
I'll go with it.
Well, she's like, what else can I do? I have nothing else to do. Fine, okay, I will kiss you. And then she basically gets a little peck and she's like, lips
On her
felt amazing.
eyes.
Oh, sorry, it
On
was
her,
on her eyes. Sorry. Yes.
yeah. Kissed her on one of her eyelids, then the other. And then she could hear all the music and the colors and all these other things. And she's like, wow. So basically, he's literally given her magic mushrooms with a trip in.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh my god, I can sense it. I feel it. Magic mushrooms, yay!" And then she's touching his face, and she's like, "High cheekbones and whatever, arched brows, blah blah blah." She's talking about that, and then he's like, "Hey, what about my kiss?" And then she smacks him on the mouth with her lips and goes, "There's your kiss." And then he's like, "Funny, Farah." She curls up and she sleeps in his arms, basically,
Yeah.
and
So basically, she feels trusted by him
she feels
and
safe.
like relaxed. Yeah. And all that kind of stuff. So it ends on a nice note, and she can now see all these fairy worlds.
He does say at the end of that chapter, though, you're exactly as I dreamed you'd be. So you're kind
What?
of like, yeah, he says at the
That's
end of
not.
it, you're exactly as I dreamed you'd be too. Does that mean like a relationship, or does he mean he knew he would meet her?
Or maybe
Discuss.
he just means like, oh, this is the dream of the love I was wanted and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
that's not going
so.
to work because he's a fairy and she's a
Exactly. And
human. I
he's
don't
been
know.
around the block, right?
Like
So,
literally last week, literally
yeah,
yesterday.
yesterday, he's like, I was rough with this woman. I mean, do you know, the more I read this now, the more Tamlin really, really isn't looking good. Like, he's just.
He tries so much, but no, like I just think he needs some more male friends to help him how to speak to women because he's it's like he's 70% there, he's 70% there,
He
and then he's like,
is. He's
if you give me a
70%.
kiss, I'll give it to you, and you're like, whoa.
This isn't how you do things. And it's, the emoji that's face palm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Tamlin is. Every time he does something, God, face
So
palm right to the
close. So
face.
close.
So close, yet so far.
Yeah.
Wow, that's us completed chapters 13 to 23. I think it's getting
Yeah.
somewhere. We're now going to get into the juicy bits, I
Yeah, we're
feel.
halfway. So there's a load of questions we've got, as in, how is this relationship? Is there going to be a relationship between Tam Tam and Fair? We don't know. Let's just hope he gets that kind of help in wooing women. So, rooting for him. There's also this whole thing about the she. Who is she? We're going to find out soon. Is it Tamtam's ex-wife? Is she an ex-maiden in the forest? She was in there and she's like, yeah, I had your baby and now I'm coming for you.
Oh my God, could you
Your land is
imagine?
mine.
Could you imagine? It's like, hey, I never forgot that wild night. Come for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
methinks no. But yeah, so there's that part of it. Is she going to know more information about these monsters slash blight slash High Lord
Yeah. What's
crap?
going on?
Are they going to communicate? Is the communication lever going to go up? And also, are they going to get together? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Let's hope he gets some wooing advice. But yeah, are they going to get together?
Let's hope that how they get together is in a good
Safe
way.
space.
A safe space, yeah. Is in a consensual manner.
Consent.
Where all parties agree.
Please.
And has been done with right minds and not bad things. Yes, one hopes.
But
I
yes.
do feel bad for Farah at this point in the story. I think she's just like stuck in a bad situation and she's dealing with it the best she can.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and he's just
painting her emotions.
Painting her, yeah. Instead of drinking it away, she's painting it away.
Yeah.
She's trying.
Painting her
she's
emotions.
trying.
And I'm looking forward to finding out, what monsters come up next and what they're going to look like. So we've had like Nagas in this round. I did really like, I think my favorite so far is the Suriel, then the Boget. Yeah, those are two of my favorites. I don't care for the others.
The Ator, I'm curious to see what people have done because they're quite an interesting creature. So I would love to know what that looks like. That would be cool. If you can send us some fan art pictures of the creatures in Court of Thorn and Roses that we've mentioned because we're interested. What do they look like to you?
Yeah.
Maybe they look completely different to what I'm thinking they look like. I always love that part of it where you're like, I imagine them to be this. And then you're like, no, they're totally different.
Yeah. I'm glad we're halfway through. I'm hoping it does get a bit more like, go, go, go. Because at the moment it is like, so I get it. It's more about the story, setting the scene, this love, story. But I'm just like, come on, I want to know. I want the action. I want to know. So,
yes, it definitely cranks up. It definitely cranks up.
Okay, I'm glad because
but that's not a spoiler because in a book like this, it should crank up. It needs to. We've just had a lot of story building. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Saying here she is, this is where she's from, this is where she's going, these are the characters, and now we're going to be like, oh, okay, what's happening here?
Join us next week when we'll be breaking down the chapters 24 to 34 of A Court of Thorn and Roses, and we'll be seeing what happens next to Freya.
Yes, and if you are reading along with us on the Fable book club, please put in your thoughts as we go along. We'd love to hear them.
Fan art.
And share the fan art as well on our comments or in our DM us some. We're going to introduce a new part of the show called Linda's Side Quest. So this is the part of the show where Linda is given a fanfic to read solo on the side. So after we finish The Court of Thorn and Roses, our episode following that will be us talking about a fanfic that Linda has read. So she's a delicate flower and she hasn't read anything like dark romance, shockers, that I've read. So, be gentle with her. Or not. Maybe give her some weird things. I don't know.
No. I've never read any fan fiction before, ever.
See, this is a great opportunity. Fanfic is amazing. So this is your chance to recommend a fanfic for Linda to read. It has to be a maximum of 10,000 words. We can't have it any bigger than that. It's too much,
We'll get
so please make sure it's within 10,000 words, please. So if you wish to suggest us something, we have a suggestion box. You can find this in our links, which are in our bios on Instagram and TikTok, or you can indeed leave your suggestion in our YouTube comments, followed by the hashtag Linda SideQuest. And we will consider them, and then she will read the fanfic.
Thank you so much for coming joining us today and getting into the discussion with us. As always, if you have any thoughts about this book or things that I should kind of take note on in the next couple of chapters, let me know in the comments below. But we look forward to seeing you in our next episode next Tuesday. But in the meantime, remember to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Literary Labyrinth Podcast. I guess I better get back to reading.
Get it reading. Chapters
24
24 to 34. Even numbers again. All right.
Okay then.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye.